In this little portion of the program, we open the phone lines, and our listeners call in with advice to the lovelorn question.
That's terrific.
Are you good at that?
Oh, yes.
I mean, people call in about love affairs gone awry, as it were. Can you help with that sort
Did
of
they ever call in with love affairs at work?
No.
Oh.
Did you ever know of one?
Yeah.
Did you ever call anybody and tell them about it?
No.
Well, that's why they don't call.
Are we through now?
No, just sit there.
Oh.
Miriam, he's going to help you.
Oh, wonderful.
All right.
Now, y'all, you hear that out there in Radio Land?
Out there in Radio Land, where did I lose control? 436-7900.
What was the number, Jack?
436-7900. Metro East 397-8600.
It's time once again on the Jack Carney Show to bring you our family relations expert, Miss Miriam Blue, to help you find happiness and contentment by answering your questions. Here now with a full mailbag is Miss Blue.
And Miss Blue has help today in the person of one Jerry Lewis. Would you like to ask Miss Blue any questions about your own? Do you have any?
Yes, I have had a very, very secret thing going with an Impala.
With the what? Chevy or furry?
No, I went to South Africa and I
Yeah.
got hooked, and I haven't heard from her.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, terrible.
You weren't involved with an elephant, were you?
We're definitely gonna bring up the children Catholic.
All right, your first question for Miss Blue and Mr. Lewis this morning on our advice to the lovelorn. Our first caller, good morning. I can tell you're troubled. Hello?
I like to say something to Jerry Lewis.
Oh.
Okay.
Say it.
I think Jerry Lewis is the best actor and best comedian. He's my very first favorite.
Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you.
I didn't know you had family here. Hello, did you have a
You
question
are so
for Miss
bad.
Blue
Yes, I do.
or her assistant, Mr. Lewis?
Okay. I have a problem. I want to spend some money to go and lose weight without my husband knowing.
Mhm.
I'd like for him to know I'm losing weight, but not spending the money.
Oh. And?
Why don't you run around the house a lot?
Well, I do.
Oh.
But the more I run, the more I eat.
You want to know where to go or how to do it or what?
Oh, no, I know where to go and how to do it. It's
Yeah.
how to get the money out of the weekly.
Well, let's explore the moral aspects here. Would you say that's legitimate, Miss Blue, to do something like that without telling your husband? Should a woman spend money on anything without telling her husband?
Oh, of course.
She should.
Oh, why, sure. I mean, see, even to Jerry's agreeing with me on that part of it. And all
I
you
was
have
nodding my head to
Well,
get
I
my
say
hair
you're-
out of my collar. I
I
was
say
not
you're
agreeing with you.
agreeing. All you have to do is cut down on the meal and take it home. Because, just
Take it out of the grocery money.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh.
And pay for it like that. And if he said anything, just tell him, so, well, the food is so high. And the little bit of money that you give me, it doesn't go far. So if you want more to eat, you will have to come up with a bigger, household.
Steal it out of the grocery money.
Right.
And then just go out and buy slimmerizing courses or jewels or anything, right?
Right. I mean, that's a very good idea, that slimmerizing corset. I didn't know they still wore them, but I mean, I've been looking
course,
for
not
one.
corset, course. If you were to come home, Mr. Lewis, and find that had taken place in your household, hello?
Yes, go
that
on.
money had been spent without your knowledge, would you as a husband be offended?
No, I really don't think so, because that would hardly be likely.
Why is that?
Well, simply because I'm rich.
Oh, next caller, please. Your question for Miss Blue. Hello?
Hello, I have to whisper this.
Why is that?
The butcher's keeping an eye on her.
Oh, the butcher is keeping an eye on you?
No, on this lady.
On what lady?
Did you send her out?
Send who out?
This mysterious lady. She's going around. Is it your picture who's on the bologna display?
Is my picture on the bologna display? Not that I know of.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. Is she about 5'8"?
Yes.
You take this call.
You're kidding. Is she wearing a print dress with a muffler?
Yes.
Ask her if her name is Hennant.
She's going around and she's retouching the pictures.
She's retouching the pictures.
On the baloney.
Yes. Now,
Well, her
Mr.
last
Lewis,
name might be Matisse. Ask if her name is Matisse.
Mr. Lewis, can you give us an honest opinion?
An honest
Yeah,
opinion?
my
I would
Mr.
recommend.
Carney.
I would recommend that you have yourself committed immediately.
Hello, next caller, please.
Yes, I've got a question for Jerry Lewis.
All
Yes.
right. Yes.
I know he's great in front of the camera, but I understand he's also an artist behind the camera. Does he still teach or instruct in the art of the cinema?
Yes, I do. I still have a class in film direction at the USC in California.
All right, next caller. A problem.
Wait, I was going to say more stuff,
Well, go ahead and
Jack.
say more stuff. Tell
No,
us.
I wanted that man to hear my swell
He
stuff.
hung up. That's why.
Well,
the
he
phone-
might have dialed you out also.
Yeah, that could have been.
You can bet.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, you're talking to her. I'm
Sir,
sorry. Jack.
hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Go ahead, my dear.
Speak right up.
Hi there. We all are here.
Have you
Show
checked
doesn't
your hearing
usually-
aid
doesn't
lately?
usually move this quickly. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been waiting for this opportunity for years.
Really?
Back in '63, I went to California, looked up Jerry Lewis's house because I've been madly in love with him. And, oh yeah, and I went to this lady. She answered the door. She says, Jerry Lewis doesn't live here anymore, but his son is in the back practicing with his band in the house. So my girlfriend and I went around, spent about 2 or 3 hours listening to the band. I never saw Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay overnight there to see if he'd come home.
If you'd
But I
asked
think-
my son, you'd have stayed overnight.
Oh, yeah. But I think Jerry Lewis is terrific.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Since 1963?
Yes, sir.
How come you never call?
I don't know. I got married.
You got what?
I got married.
What's that got to do with
That
anything?
hasn't stopped it.
Did you hear about the lady that's running around to lose weight and her husband shouldn't know about it?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with anything?
We're moving right along. Thank you for
Get on
calling.
with
Here's
it,
our
Jack.
next caller.
Oh,
Hello.
is this
Hello?
boring?
Yes, go ahead.
My comment is for Mr. Lewis.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a 15-year-old son.
Who do you suspect?
No, he is really wild about Jerry Lewis.
Well, that's terrific. Thank you.
In fact, last year we went on a picnic, and it was on when your telethon was on,
Yeah, yeah.
and he wouldn't even go. He had to stay home and watch you all night and all day.
Well, God bless him.
And he's got posters all over his room.
And you
know.
and you went on the picnic?
Yeah, we went and left him home. He watched you the
Cut
whole
her
day.
off, Jack.
Cut her off because she went with it. Hello.
Hello.
Go. Hello.
Hello. How
Yes.
are you?
Go ahead,
She
please.
said, "How are you, Jack?"
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Good. I haven't got a problem in the world.
Well, then get off the phone.
Next caller,
These
please.
are only
Hello.
for troubled people.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Come on, we want a little anguish. That's
Well,
all.
this is anguish since I've been 13 years old. I've been in love with Jerry Lewis.
How long has that been?
Now wait.
Did you ever hear
Now,
so
wait, let
many
me tell you
people in
something.
love, and meanwhile, at the end of the show last
No,
night,
no,
I'm
wait,
walking
let me-
around the lobby looking for someone to talk to.
Let me tell you, at that time he was twice as old as I am. He was 13 years, and he's 13 years old. And now the older I get, we get closer in age, and it's getting nicer.
Well, are you locally
Yes.
in town?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm
Do you
embarrassed.
fool around?
I don't want to encourage this kind of thing.
Well,
This is a family program.
You
Next
cut
caller.
me off.
Next
Should that
caller.
affect my
We'll
hearing?
give your room number before you get off the air.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
I'm at the Ramada Inn,
Sit
123.
down. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I would just like to.
I hope you haven't been in love with Jerry Lewis since you were 13.
No.
Okay,
Heavens
that's-
no.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to call and make a comment that I think a lot of times people overlook Mr. Lewis's value as a man who works with a very charitable organization, and that would be his muscular dystrophy, or Armoire of Dimes, excuse me. I'm a little bit shaky on that, but
It's
think-
muscular dystrophy, that's right.
and I think that he ought to be complimented highly on it, very secondary in my estimation to his acting and other abilities and contributions that he's made to the cinema.
Thank you. That's very
Very
nice.
nice.
Thank you.
I'm not getting a lot of problems today, Miss Blue. Hello?
I'll give you a problem in a few minutes.
I bet you
I
already
have had to go to the toilet since I walked in here. I have a kidney condition. Did anyone tell you about that, Jack?
It's 3 blocks to a service station.
Oh, I am
Hello?
in such trouble.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Greetings and salutations,
This isn't Christmas.
Mr. Carney, Mrs.
Yes,
Blue,
ma'am.
and Mr.
Good morning. I know who that is.
Yeah, that's the bug
Now,
lady.
quiet,
Say hello, bug lady.
quiet.
Hi, bug lady.
Quiet.
Quiet.
Quiet. I'm not the bug lady anymore.
No.
I don't like that. Could be ladybug.
Yeah.
But when I finish this terrible problem, I want to talk to Mr. Lewis because I was with Olson and Johnson, and I was supposed to go and ask him if he knows Peg and Mr. Burroughs. This summer, I was supposed to act as a consultant because I was the blackout specialist.
Yeah.
Now, you see what talent you're dealing with, you bum. Okay. Now, I'll start all over. Greetings and salutations, Mr. Carney,
Oh, hi, dear.
Mrs. Blue,
And hi there.
and Mr. Lewis.
Hi there.
Hi. Now, where am I?
Dear, I always have to remind you it's only a 4-hour program.
Well,
Come
now
to the
listen,
point.
dear, you don't get this kind of talent every day.
I know.
You're right. You just say what you have to say, dear, and don't let him in any way demean you, because over the years we have met people that... All right.
Am contemplating suing 5 people. Now, I was going to sue 10, but I cut it down to 5.
Suing 5 people.
Now, if you'll be quiet, you'll listen and learn.
All right.
Now, my problem is this. Should I join the mafia and have my godfather wipe them out?
Mm.
Or should I hire a lawyer
Mm.
and have him wipe me out?
Well, I think that's an excellent question, and we'll throw that up. We'll throw up that question between our experts. We'll start with Miss Blue, and we'll move on to Mr. Lewis. Then we'll take our next caller. Go ahead, please. Hello? It was unanimous. They both went, hello?
I'd like to ask Mr. Lewis, first of all, if he's been up to Flagpole Central High in Newark, New Jersey lately.
No, not for a long time. Not for maybe 35 years.
Yeah, I remember that. I was a couple years behind you at that time, sir. And also, I want to thank you for all the years of joy you've brought not only to muscular dystrophy, but to just comedy in general.
Thank you very much. That's
Thank
very
you.
nice of you.
Hello? I think we're running out of time. Go. Do we have a caller? Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
I'd like to say thanks, Mr. Lewis, because a gentleman such as yourself and kind as you are, giving to his fellow man, I think is something stupendous. And I'd like to know if you received a letter from a group called the Futures of America in the mail.
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I read it yesterday, and it sounds like it's a terrific young group as well as the older group. And I instructed my secretary to answer the letter. Hopefully, I can either hear the group personally or, as you recommended, possibly send me some tracks to listen to.
I'd love to do that. Matter of fact, if you had a moment, I'd even bring an album down to you.
Well, you can do that.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'd be glad to get it from you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Jerry Lewis is here, and we'll talk about a lot of important stuff this morning. You
Let's
want to-
get on with it, Jack.
I have a few important things I have to do, like commercials. And if
I'll do them for you,
You will?
if you don't mind that they won't be
No.
with you anymore.
No. Here, try this one just from the top. Clarence, give him a little fanfare or something. I think. Wait, don't burn that! No, he put it. No. Go ahead, give him a little music, Clarence.
For a great selection of women's
Wait,
fashions.
he's not done with the music.
Oh, damn it.
Okay.
Will Vincent Price find the girl that's buried in the graveyard behind Mr. and Mrs. Morgan's home? Does Phyllis know that Charles is home?
Take it, Jerry.
For a great selection of women's fashions by nationally famous manufacturers at modern prices, you're never far from one of the 5 artist fashions centers.
What?
The famous Jansen line is that authors. You'll flip for Jansen. Swim togs in bikini, tank, and tunic styles with matching skirts. For landlubbers,
Wait, are you going to get calls now?
Authors features Jansen sportswear for women.
It's too late.
In cotton cooler double knits, woven seersucker plaids, crisp gingham checks, and light summery chambray. Jansen Mix and Match Sportswear brings you from morning to evening with a change to shorts, skirts, or a casual jacket. You'll find Illinois jacket. You'll find these Jansen collections and more at Arthur's Fashion Centers. Arthur's is where you find famous brands like Skippy in junior and Mrs. sizes, plus a really large selection of half sizes. Arthur's a department store for women in fluorescent meadows.
Fluorescent.
Oh, Fluorescent Meadows. Village Square, Jamestown Mall, east of Betty's house. St. Clair Square in Fairview Heights, and their newest fashion center, Chesterfield Mall. All Arthur's department stores for women are open evenings, and the St. Clair stores open Sundays. And if you have any money on you at all, they'll open at any time you can get there.
Can I tell you something? I've been in love with you since I was 13.
Do you think that Jansen's going to be with you again, or Arthur's Fashion?
No, I think that's probably
No,
it.
they're nice people. I was
At
told about
Arthur's.
them.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
very nice.
Really nice.
They really are.
They have swell
They
places.
appreciate what you did for them.
Well, listen, you
It
know what it
hasn't-
would cost them to buy me to do that? About $15.
Really? Jerry Lewis was scheduled to appear at the Breckenridge
I showed up.
Pavilion. Did you?
Yeah, I had two marvelous shows last night. That's the loveliest theater, possibly next to the Palladium in London, that I've ever seen.
What do you compare the two?
Why? Because it's that kind of it's a magnificent theater.
But it's a small theater.
Yes, the Palladium isn't that much larger, but it's built the same way. The seats are facing the stage.
That's interesting.
Oh,
I
it makes life a lot easier.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
People
yes.
don't have to turn around to see you.
No, they look straight ahead. I
Right.
walk right out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I work to the band, so
Yeah.
they see my back. Why weren't you there last night?
You know, I wasn't.
You weren't. You were
I-
out boozing.
How do you know I wasn't there last night?
Because one look at your eyes.
I could have gone out boozing afterwards.
You should go to the blood bank and have them drained.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I have some important business to take care
Well,
of.
get on with it.
Well, I'm trying to.
I got to get out of here.
Listen, you're not really sold out. Aren't there still tickets available?
I don't know. What do I know? I'm
Well,
not,
let's
I'm not
get
the cashier.
Come on, aren't you interested in filling the place up?
How could seats be
Tumultuous
available? There's
applause?
only 112 chairs.
And they're all facing the wrong way.
Exactly.
It is a nice little theater. Really is a nice little theater, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wasn't kidding.
No.
And
You know the history of the building, how it was a Spanish pavilion in
Uh-huh.
New York.
The minute I walked in there, I got the runs.
Let's talk about old Vienna potato chips. How about that?
Oh, they're the best.
And then Jerry's
They're
going
the
to do our
best.
sports capsule.
I wouldn't have dinner without them.
Without old Vienna potato chips.
Would I lie to you?
What is it you like about them most?
That they're made of potatoes,
Yeah.
and they're healthy,
And crunchy?
and they're not those soggy kind. that you
No.
get, those other dumb brands.
No.
Like in the can,
Yeah.
they slide right out.
Terrible.
These are really good.
Yeah. Made with real potatoes,
Oh yeah.
pure vegetable oil,
Mhm.
delicious, little salt, and that's it.
Oh, it's just marvelous.
45 years St. Louis people have been buying old Vienna potato
Is that
chips.
why they look the way they do?
Some of them have been in the store that long.
I see.
The green ones. Don't buy the green ones.
Well, that takes care of old Vienna and Arthur's.
Can I leave town with you?
I think you're gonna have to. The man who did most to destroy radio in St. Louis.
It's time for our sports capsule now, and here's Butch Lewis to report with these. Who brings? Oh, Friendly Bob and the folks at GFC. And now here's Butch Lewis. Take it, Butch.
Thanks a lot. The Houston Open Golf Tournament begins today. Jack Nicklaus is the man to beat, and Lee Elder is the defending champion. Lexington, Kentucky. With Seattle Slough already at Churchill Downs, a number of Kentucky Derby challengers will race in the bluegrass at Keeneland today. 11 horses are in the $100,000 event. Boston. The Boston Bruins are at home this evening. That means there's no game.
Mm-hmm.
If the Bruins are at home,
You mean they're not even going to the stadium?
well, that's what I thought it meant, but
Yeah,
apparently
They're
not.
playing in Boston.
Oh, I see. And they're playing the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 3 of their NHL Stanley Cup semifinal series. Boston leads 2-0. That means the Flyers they ain't been flying. Uniondale, New York. The embattled New York Islanders will play host to the Montreal Canadiens in a Game 3 of their NHL semifinal series tonight. The Canadiens have won the first 2 games in Montreal, Canada. They read a sign that said "Drink Canada Dry," and they went up there and tried it. Wum bum bing. The Houston Aeros and Winnipeg Jets will clash in a World Hockey Association playoff game, and Quebec will be at Indianapolis in another. Wimbledon, England. The Russians won't be coming to Wimbledon this summer. Oh, jeez.
Darn.
The famed tennis club announced today that no entries have been received from the Soviets.
We heard it was dinner time.
Isn't that
Soviet.
Soviet.
little humor there.
Jew. The listeners, it was astonishing.
Jerry Lewis is here this morning. He's appearing in town, as you know, at the Breckenridge Pavilion Hotel. And I wanted to play, while you were here, I wanted to play Rockabye Your Baby. You know, that's hard to find, that record today.
Well, I made it about 17 years ago.
What year?
1960. No, I'm sorry. 19 years ago, 1958.
That was an important record for you.
Yes, it was. It sold, I think it's pushing near 4 million.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But wasn't this an important turning point for you?
Sure. Oh, yeah. I did it. It was my first time on the stage by myself. Dean and I had split on the 25th of July of 56. And on the 27th of July, Judy Garland was taken sick at the Frontier in Vegas, and I went over to help out. So it was the first time I was on the stage by myself since we broke up. And I just ad-libbed about an hour and 20-minute show. I didn't know what I was doing. And I had to get off. So I said, you got any music to get me off? And Judy did Rockabye, and the key was okay. So I tried it. And Patty, my wife, was in the audience, and she said, you've got to record that. You sing it with such feeling, and you really should do that. So I made the recording as a gag, and I gave it to Patty. I said, I made it for you, dear. And I made one record. She sent the master to New York and sold it to Decca without my knowledge. And I'm riding in the car about a month later. She had never told me. And I hear it on the air. So I thought maybe she sent the record. Then she told me what she had done. And we sold the first million, I guess, the first year.
But that must have been a great time to get a hit record. I mean, for you.
Oh, God. I was thrilled that the bellboy said hello.
Yeah.
Sure. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was really uptight about just performing in general. But it was a very important time in my life.
Let's hear it. All right.
Let's hear it.
Less.
Up in front.
Next time, Clarence, try and get it at the right speed.
Oh, that's cruel.
That's
oh,
love.
Cruel.
That's
I came all the way over for a spritz.
17 years.
Yes.
How do you stay so young looking? You don't have a wrinkle in your face.
I am a bionic Jew.
$20 million. How do you stay young?
You think positive, I think.
No, there's more to it. Are you careful about your diet?
No.
You're not?
I do everything wrong. I don't
smoke?
sleep enough. I smoke too much. I don't drink, but I do everything else wrong.
You look so young. You really do.
Yeah, everybody tells me that.
Yeah. Doesn't it bother you?
What, to look young?
Don't you think one day you're going to get up, it's going to all happen?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. What you don't know is I'm put together with Scotch tape. You
Yeah?
want to see me get undressed? Oh, what an old man is under this outfit.
Oh, that really is something. You're a great Sinatra fan, too, because when we were off the air, you just said something about Frank. There's a picture of him in People magazine.
Yeah.
You like him?
Oh, it's hardly possible not to like
As a performer, as an entertainer, how?
everything. He's first the man, if you know the man, who's been one of the most maligned people in our business, only because I think all greatness is maligned, but you have to know the man. I only know that I would love to grow up one day and be like him.
Mm-hmm. When you're my age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm much older than you are, Jack.
No, I'm much older than you are,
Oh,
Jerry.
no. I'm 51. I was just 51 years old, Jack.
You're much older than I am, Jerry.
But you look so much older. Oh, did you
You had
bite?
to come all the way across the
Yeah,
street for
that
that.
was a 3-inch hook I just put in your mouth.
Jerry Lewis is here, and I'm going to take a minute out to try and think up some reply for that and tell you about the Kitchen Shop, a division of Morgan Whiteman. If you're remodeling the kitchen, and this is very, very important. For example, the new Better Homes and Gardens magazine has a big article on maintaining the value in your home, increasing the value. And one of the first things they talk about is the kitchen. Kitchens are so important. You spend so much time in the kitchen. And when you put your house on the market, you'll find that potential buyers, the first place they go to look is in the kitchen, right?
Oh, I'm sure of that.
That's right. And that's why it's so important when you're doing kitchen remodeling to talk to the experts, the people who really know their business, right?
Oh, I would never talk to anyone but the experts.
The Kitchen Shop is definitely the place to go here in St. Louis at 1063 South Brentwood Boulevard with beautiful cabinets.
Aren't they on Brentwood Boulevard?
Yes, they're down at 1063
Yes,
South
that's
Brentwood.
where I thought they
The
were.
Kitchen Shop. And
Yeah.
they're Division of Morgan Whiteman. For an appointment, do you remember the number?
Yep.
721-6060?
Is that 6060?
721
721-6060.
6060.
Morgan Whiteman.
A division of Morgan Whiteman.
Yes,
The
they got a
Kitchen
better
Shop.
shot than Arthur's and Vienna chips.
Well, it evens out.
Yeah, what the hell?
Tipton Truckload Savings Sale through
I
Saturday.
want to hear about them.
At all Tipton Appliance Centers, saving by the truckload on televisions, appliances, and audio systems.
It's all hot stuff.
Famous brands that you know and trust. Tipton's Truckload of Bargains runs through Saturday. Here are just a few of the great bargains. A Hitachi 12-inch solid-state color portable television with 1-year service policy, $247.
But you have to watch it with chopsticks.
Yes. Well, you'll be hungry again in an
I
hour.
hope so.
A Whirlpool washer and dryer, $333
But
for,
you can't get channels on that. Dan.
for both. What?
On the Whirlpool, I've tried. You can't get
Can't
any
see a
shows
thing.
on it.
Just
No.
watch your underwear go
Right.
around and around.
You can get that on UHF.
Frigidaire 17 cubic foot frost-proof refrigerator freezer, $317. And remember, at Tipton's, you gotta be happy. Why?
Because that's the only place to go if you really want to buy good potato chips.
No.
No?
That's from another
Oh, that's
movie.
Vienna. I'm sorry. Is that Arthur's where
no,
you get this?
this is Tipton Appliance
Oh.
Centers. You gotta be happy because
6060 is their number?
if you're not happy, we're not in business.
Right.
And we're very much in business.
I have a hunch you're going to be out of business
I
with
wouldn't be
them.
a damn bit surprised, let me tell you.
Yeah, but I'll tell you about, it really is interesting because I heard prior to coming to town that Tipton appliances were really cooking.
Really?
Yep. I was leaving New York at JFK and a guy walked by and
Yeah.
just said, Jer? I said, hi. He said, you hear about Tipton in St. Louis? I said, no. He said, marvelous for
Wow.
Hitachi and Whirlpool and
Stopped you
Frigidaire.
right in the airport.
Yeah.
Said that too.
Yeah. I guess he knew I was going to St. Louis.
You'd never seen him before?
Yeah.
Try to get
His
you in the
name was
phone booth?
Tipton, I think.
Right. Well, Jerry Lewis is here this morning.
You're kidding.
No, he is. Wait, I want you to meet him. You're going to like him. He gets younger.
Oh, la da da da.
Library
la,
Limited
la,
having a
da.
big sale on records and books, old-time
Library
radio.
Limited?
Library Limited, 2 great bookstores. Sensational sale.
Library Limited is 2 great bookstores?
Library Limited is the name of the bookstores.
Oh, both of them.
Who?
The Library Limited.
The 2 bookstores.
They're both named the same.
Library Limited.
Well, how do you know which one you're going to?
I don't know. I never thought
See,
about
it
that.
should be Library Limited 1
Yeah.
and Library Limited 2.
Oh,
And then you know you're going to go to one. But if you don't know which one it is, you may be going to both.
yeah.
Then you wind up with a half a book in each.
You could.
Then how are you going to get it?
No.
Get on with it.
I shouldn't have come in today.
I'm not too thrilled about it either.
Library Limited having a big record sale and a book sale, old-time radio, big bands, classical collections, radio dramas, Sherlock Holmes, really nice things. And they'd be great to pick up now and save for gift giving. Library Limited 1 and Library Limited 2.
They have 2 stores in town?
Library Limited 1 is in Clayton at 7538 Forsyth. Or maybe that's Library Limited 2.
No.
No.
Library Limited 1 is on Clayton and Forsyth.
And the downtown store at 310 North 8th Street would be number 2.
Is that 38 North 10th Street or
No,
310 North 8th Street? Did
You're
you want me to
trying-
be there at 4 o'clock and meet you at 9:30 or to be
3
at on
o'clock
4th
and
Street?
9:30. Library Limited 1 and Library Limited 2. I'm going to remember that, even when you're gone.
Okay.
That'll stay with me.
Yeah, you should tell Library Limited to say that.
To what?
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Not that 1 is better than 2.
I want to ask you a serious question.
All right.
How does it happen you're in St. Louis? And I'll tell you why I ask that. We don't normally get stars of your magnitude in St. Louis. Now,
Well,
that's a compliment and a question.
well, thank you for the compliment and an answer to your question. In St. Louis, I was going to be in St. Louis to visit the Jerry Lewis Neuromuscular Research Clinic at Washington University, which is something I'm very proud and very excited about because it's one of our newest facilities, headed up by Dr. Michael Brook and a staff of researchers and scientists that have been very close to my heart for years. And my plan was to spend 3 or 4 days in May. Now, the Breckenridge Theater had heard about my possibly coming to St. Louis. And any time I can appear in a city where a Jerry Lewis Neuromuscular Research Facility is, it assists me in doing 2 things at once. and it doesn't hurt for me to make a few dollars for my family once in a while.
Mm.
And what I try to do, in all seriousness, is to book whatever engagements I do on any tour in the most potent areas relative to my kids. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm. Who comes with you when you come in to perform? How many people?
We have a Jewish wagon train.
Jewish wagon.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you make a big circle?
Yes,
Yes.
I have my my road manager. I have my security people. I have my press department. I have a girl singer who's terrific, Kathy Carlson. My conductor, key musicians, and 4 or 5 people that have been with us for years. I don't know who they are, but they keep getting sweets, and they're having a marvelous time. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're always first class. Hi, Jer, how's it today? And, you know, I'm so embarrassed.
You don't
I'm
know-
afraid to ask.
You don't know who
9
they
years they've been with
are?
me.
And you don't know them?
It started with 3,
Yeah.
and they had a child.
Yeah.
He's 9 now.
Yeah.
He rides coach for whatever the reason,
Yeah.
and it's just nice.
How many gypsies are there that arrive when you do? When the bus pulls up, how many get out?
It's just my drummer and me.
Oh. I was always fascinated to read about the Europeans and the Japanese, in fact, people all over the world, and the way they feel about Jerry Lewis movies. How Jerry
Yeah.
Lewis is rated with Laurel and Hardy and W.C. Well, even more so than Fields, because I was going to say because a lot of that had to do with language, but with Laurel and Hardy and with Chaplin.
Yeah.
You are kind of a legend, really, in your own time in filmmaking.
Yes, it's very gratifying too. And every time I need an ego pump, I just fly to Europe or Japan.
Do they make a big thing? I mean,
Oh.
sensational?
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest thrill I guess I ever had in my life was when I went into concert in Paris last May. And Figaro, their most important paper, the headline, front page of Figaro said, "The King is back."
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you work in English in Paris,
Yes, but I work primarily in mime. I do an awful lot of mime.
do you?
But when I talk in the different countries, they understand me. In the Scandinavian countries. Inte volte vestivela, kälte barni mindre väldet. You know what I just
Does
said?
that get a
Nothing.
Big, nothing?
And they scream.
That gets a big
Yeah,
laugh there.
They love it.
St. Louis, I don't think it would.
No, in
No.
St. Louis, it's regular talking.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just say, every once in a while,
Yeah.
have a bud, and I'm a big hit.
You said the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
Cardinals are going to win Friday. You're going to be there tomorrow night?
Yes. No, I can't. I'm working tomorrow night. I'm at the Breckenridge Theater, Jack.
You're kidding.
Would I lie to you?
What do you do there?
I just go out and make a fool of myself.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I do the same thing on the radio.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
You
see
never
the
said a
game
word.
Saturday. Saturday, I'm
Are
going to
ya?
go see. Yeah, I'm going to see the Cardinals. I want to see how a team gets 21 home runs,
Runs, 21 runs.
21 runs rather,
Got that, yes.
against 2.
But you're a Dodger fan, really?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh indeed. And
Think
we're
the
going.
Dodgers are going to do well?
Yes, we're going to win the pennant.
The Rams going to do well this year?
I don't think so.
No?
Mm-mm.
Think something's going to happen with the 49ers? They're in your neighborhood.
Yeah, but I don't know. I really think that it's going to be very tough to beat Minnesota. It's going to be tough to beat Oakland.
It's going to be tough to beat the football Cardinals this year. You wait and see. Hello?
Well, you got a good team. They're
Yeah.
good players.
Yeah.
Mr. Hart is a nice fellow.
Jimmy?
He knows how to get in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Those fellas in front should stay with those other guys a little longer so he doesn't.
Oh,
Get
we
hurt.
got a good line. Are you kidding?
I didn't
Wait,
say anything bad
wait
about
till you see
them.
him this year. It's going to be sensational.
Wonderful.
Would you rather go to a baseball game or a football game?
I would prefer to go to neither.
Really? No, you like sports.
I'm a maniac about sports.
But which do you have a preference?
No, I love baseball. I carry gloves in my bag all the time. I'm
Yeah.
always throwing the ball around.
Maybe you'll catch a ball
Why not?
Saturday.
I've played with all of the majors except for. I warmed up with the Cardinals back in 1955, I think.
Do you resent all the financial talk and all of the money and all the negotiations and so on that seem to be jeopardizing sports today?
No, I don't think it's jeopardizing sports. I think if the dollars weren't valid, if they weren't entitled to it, they wouldn't be getting it. And I think that everybody has been mistreated over the years. What people are forgetting is that the numbers are getting larger now, and they're hearing all about that. Why didn't they write in the press years ago that a sports figure was getting $11,000 a year and just about making it?
Mm-hmm.
They never wrote that.
Mhm.
But now they're writing that he's demanding $50,000 a year. Well, There's a thing called cost of living, and this fellow making $11,000 a year 5 years ago was doing just about break even. And now with the cost of living, it's impossible for a kid like that to function. Now, you want him to go out on a ball field and play heads-up ball? The superstars in sports are entitled to whatever the traffic will bear. Management just doesn't want to break down the $3.5 million profit to a $2.5 million profit. They don't want to split the action. I'm a very strong supporter of people getting paid what they're worth. And then if they're really terrific, they're never paid what they're worth.
Do you think that you sympathize with the athlete because you're an entertainer? Do you think
No.
there's a similarity there in maybe a short-lived career many times? Or
I'd like to think that I'm just a fair man, but
Mhm.
I think that anyone that gets into the arena, it's really easy, Jack, to buy a $2.5 ticket and yell "Olay," but you got to get down in there and see what that bull looks like coming at you. And if he hits you in the right place, he can tear your trousers. Well, you got to get down there and see what it's like. And that matador is entitled to whatever he can earn for getting in there. It's easy to sit in the arena and say, I think that's wrong or that's unfair. You got to really know what the ground rules are. That life for a sports figure or a personality in show business is really not all that terrific. And there has to be some reason to motivate a lot of people.
what's the worst part of life in showbiz? Is it the loss of privacy?
That's probably the key figure,
Mm.
the key one most devastating situation.
I mean, you
Although-
can't go anywhere, really, like I can. You
No.
can't go to the movies. You can't go to the theater. You can't go to a
Well,
restaurant.
you try.
Yeah.
I love to window shop. I love to walk in the street. Like when I come to a city like St. Louis, I'd like to see it. I see nothing but the hotel and the theater.
Because you can't go out.
Because you would like to just be able to
Mhm.
do plain stuff. But on the other hand, I would think it would be devastating if I was able to go and do it. I'm wondering which is worse.
Well, you mentioned before when you mentioned Frank Sinatra, you said that the press had not been fair to him on occasion. Through the years, has the press been fair to you?
The press is fair to no one.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Why? I mean, why do you say that?
Why? Because they're in business of selling papers.
Mhm.
And
Or
you-
magazines or television.
Yeah, you
viewers.
don't think they're going to sell anything by being swell, do you? You think they're going to sell anything by putting a headline, "A man buys puppy for sick child"? Who the hell wants to read that? As far as they're concerned, that doesn't sell papers. But if you print "man molests child," they can't push out enough papers in a day. That's why.
So you feel that they've treated you that way through the years?
Every-
I don't mean
everybody.
specifically. Everybody.
Yeah, myself included. I've always maintained I do enough wrong stuff that you can tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell you got to make up stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Just print the stuff I do. I do some really dumb things sometimes. It'll read just as good.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I'm disturbed about with the press, and I battle them at every chance, is just why don't you just say what was said? Don't help it. If you
Do you
want
have
to
any
help,
recourse when you're unfairly treated like that? Is there anything you
yeah,
can
if
do?
I buy a newspaper, I'll have a recourse.
Mm-hmm. So you don't have.
No, of course not. But what they don't have, that we have, are fans and people that care and that will not be disillusioned by the garbage that's written. They won't believe it. They really won't.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they suspect that there may be some truth to something that's terribly wrong that you've done, they'll find excuses for you, or they'll really try desperately to make it work the other way. Because fan comes from the word fanatic. When they really care about you, you can't do anything to disrupt that. So
And your
that's
fans
where-
do care, don't they?
Yes, they do. They really do. And you grow up with them and you love them back, and they know you do.
Totally.
We have 30 seconds left. Jerry Lewis is at the Breckenridge Pavilion Hotel. I'll give you the last 20 seconds to, 15 now. You could,
Why don't you just let me say thanks, Jack? Thanks for your air, and
yeah.
thanks for plugging the Breckenridge Theater, because
Yeah.
they're terrific people. And I'm glad I met you. I like you. You're nice, and maybe we'll get together.
I hope you'll come back.
I'm sure. I
Jerry
will.
Lewis at the Breckenridge Ramada this weekend. We'll be back in a few minutes coming up on 11 o'clock. Oh, please. KMOX Radio, St. Louis.